every year in regards to homecoming. It's a special night. It was a special night for me back a long time ago, and just a couple years ago for you, Bob, as how young you are, Bob. So the Cobblers from Rapid City Central come in to Brandon this evening against your Lynx, and I'm going to let Bob take it off from here. Welcome, Bob.
All right, guys, welcome. The Rapid City Cobblers are coming into the game 0-4. Kind of a little bit boy, am I talking about not being able to put words together. The records are a little bit deceiving. Brandon, they've had a great start to the year. They're 0-4. Their offense is clicking right along at a little over 30 points a game. Their defense is giving up under 6 points a game. The Cobblers travel across the state, and they're coming in 0-4. They're kind of off to a little bit rough start, but talking to the coach before the game, they are progressing as the season goes. He feels he likes the direction that the team's going, but they haven't been able to get onto the win totals this year. I promised the coach from Rapid City Central that I'd give a shout out to his wife, Courtney, who's watching tonight. So Ken, we know we're at least going to have one person watching the game tonight, so she's watching from back at home. But we got some surprises tonight from the Lynx. We got a new starting quarterback who's seeing the field for the first time as a starter, number 84, Jack Baumgren. We're going to see what he gets for us. He's got an excellent running game behind him, Ken. We're averaging about 184 yards a game rushing. We've got a kind of a two-headed monster in Gus Scott and Levi Veskerna. Up to this point, we're averaging about 143 yards of passing. Hopefully tonight the offensive line and the running game can carry us, and if not, they must have a lot of confidence in Mr. Blumgren to run the offense at homecoming in front of what's going to be a pretty large home crowd. Across the way, it's a little bit light, but it is a long ways to travel to see a Rapid City school plays. But going to be a good game tonight. The Lynx defense is all intact. They'll be running a 3-3-5 defense, and that's just going to be like it has all year long. Rapid City runs a 4-3 defense, so the linemen got their work cut out for us to open some of those holes, and so I think we're going to have a good game tonight.
Absolutely. As your Lynx come into this game 4-0 with power points, as we talk about in the playoff rankings right now, and the rankings in the 11 AAA in the metro area. Harrisburg sitting at 4-0. They had 13 first-place votes. They are number 1 currently. Lincoln sitting at 4-0, 4-0. Also, they had 7 first-place votes, and right behind them is your 4-0 Brandon Valley Lynx, followed by Sioux Falls Jefferson at 3-1, and O'Gorman, the O'Gorman Knights, 1-3. That's your top 5 in 11 AAA. Like Bob was talking about in regards to the actual points that the Lynx have given up. Well, defensively, I don't know if I've ever seen it. Okay, and I know it's a sample point, but we're almost halfway through the regular season in football here in South Dakota. But the Lynx are only giving up 5.3 points per game, which is unbelievably outstanding. That's less than a touchdown a game, almost right around a field goal and a half, right? And points for, so the Lynx are out there scoring on offense, and that's catapulted from the defense to the offense, right? They're giving them extra possessions and stuff like that. But the Lynx offense, they're averaging 33.5 points per game. So that in total, okay, that's a 28-point differential from offense to defense that this team has given up. Special teams is really, really outstanding, too. Bob talked about Blomgren starting at quarterback this evening, number 84. That's good. Let's see what the sophomore has this evening, as typically Briggs Knutson is your starting quarterback. He was a little banged up last week and this week. big game, and we're not going to look past, okay, this week and look to next week, okay, because we have a big game, right? You're at Lincoln, okay, on their homecoming at Howard Wood. But we're not going to talk about that so much until we finish business on this field this Friday evening. It is homecoming 2024 here in Brandon, South Dakota. The stands are full, and hopefully everybody that's not able to be in these stands this evening at the field, hopefully you're watching on Channel 226, on Alliance Channel 226 on your cable television, or streaming live on Lynx TV on YouTube. Bob, let's talk about our Lynx sponsors real quick before we have the national anthem.
All right, we've got the Lynx All-American sponsors: Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling and Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Our MVP sponsors are First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health and Brandon, Sanford Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Folks, as you see on the track, we're about to give the national anthem, but on the track is the American Sign Language Class 2 and 3 that will be signing the national anthem.
In our national anthem. Our national anthem. And so we see a firework in the sky here, and what a beautiful song that is. Thank you to our veterans and current service members that are out there making sure we are safe, Bob, while we're able to enjoy a football game on a Friday evening in a rural town in South Dakota, right?
Absolutely.
So to kick it off, this is the 2024 homecoming, and we're going to go over rest of our actual Lynx TV sponsors right now. Go ahead, Bob.
Yep, our Lynx champion sponsors are Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital, Sunshine Food Stores, and today's Family Dentistry. Thank you, all of our sponsors, for making tonight's game and all of our games throughout the academic year possible on Lynx TV.
Make sure you go out and actually support those sponsors, because they are the reason that we're able to bring this telecast to you each and every Friday evening, and also with volleyball games, soccer games, and everything tuned to Lynx Sports and actually beyond that for the Lynx school system. So thank you all to the sponsors, and go out and sponsor them, please. Your captains at the middle of the field right now are going to be Gus Scott. He's number 3. Number 5 is Landon Delaney. Number 10, Gunnar Swift. Number 29 is Drake Jelima. Number 44, Madden Timmer. And number 75 is Lucas Feldkamp. As we're going to have the toss here, we'll go over a couple different keys to the game. Bob, go ahead.
All right, so tonight's going to be a little different. I had some notes written down from previous weeks and what we intend to do, but again, I think the Lynx keys for tonight, they're going to use that two-headed monster of Gus Scott and Levi Veskrina to wear down the defense. It is nice and toasty out on the field. When I come in from the parking lot tonight, the temperature had a 9 in front of it, and that's pretty warm for exerting yourself on a football field, but the defense or the run game, we hoping it's going to wear down the defense. Now, I think just like they have all year, they're going to use that run game to set up any passing that they might plan to do for tonight's game. Use the short passing game, screens and so forth. Don't put anything special or risky out there for your new starting quarterback, and let that short game open it up for some longer plays. So, and as always, the defense for the Lynx is going to be the key for this game to slow down and stop the Rapid City Cobblers offense.
Absolutely. And one thing about defense, let's talk about defense to offense, right, Bob? So a 4-3 defense, which the Cobblers run, is typically a 4-3 defense is to stop the run, right? You got 4 defensive linemen, you got 3 linebackers. Let's see if the Lynx, even with a backup quarterback right now, and it's your current starting quarterback, take advantage of the long ball right away and try to open that up. And I think they may do that, because you typically will maybe have 2 safeties high, see if we work under, and then when you start bringing the safeties down defensively, then we start hitting them up top. But we'll see what we have currently as we go on.
So yeah, it looks like we're about ready to get kicked off here. The band is off to our right-hand side over by the scoreboard. They'll cheer extremely loud, as we would expect, but it looks like the Lynx are going to be kicking off to start the half. And just like I say every single game, Ken, and I talked to Coach Silliuson, special teams coach for the Lynx, during the week, and gave him some compliments on how well the special teams has been looking on kickoffs and punt returns, not allowing any long punt returns, pitting the other team back quite a ways, and we'll see how it goes tonight.
Scott up, and there's a kick taken by a Cobbler at about the 8-yard line. We don't have a number, but we will get that in a moment. Good return by
number 21 for the Lynx.
Corey Furbin, I believe. So that's going to start the Cobblers on offense as we kick off the 2024 homecoming game. Your Lynx 4-0 coming into this game against the Cobblers 0-4. The Lynx will go with the defense, a 3-3-5 defense. It's been a suffocating defense, and that's really, really taming it down, what I said there, because you're only giving up 5.3 points per game. Offensively, you have number 1, that's going to be Matthew. It looks like they're in a wing T offense. He has Ben Bow, number 21, with him. He does give it to number 2. And that's going to be for the Cobblers.
Number 2 is going to be Troy Catches.
Troy Catches with the carry. They're running a wing T offense. What that means is O'Gorman Knights used to run that too. So you have two wings out at the outside of the formation. Offensively, you got a running back that's almost directly, you'll see, right behind Matthews, number 1, the quarterback. And they're going to come out that with a wide receiver. I believe that's Hill right to his right. He motions his running back. He does give it to number 24. That's going to be Jackson. No yards. Another negative play for the Cobblers. The defense is coming out big. So right away in this ball game, it was 2nd 11. It is now 3rd and 16 from the 27.
You know, you kind of got to like the outside linebackers and also Leary that is crashing those running lanes and cutting through the blockers and getting to the running back behind him. Great defensive scheme there for that.
Matthews under center again. He's got his running back number 21, or excuse me, that's going to be 21 Benbow, and he gives it directly to his running back.
Number 2. Gave it to Catches again on an inside handoff, and the Lynx were not having anything of it. They stopped him after maybe a yard or so gain. Looks like it's going to bring up 4th down for the Cobblers.
4th down and 12 for the Cobblers from the 27, no gain. As back deep to punt.
I want to hear you get this name. Okay.
And there's a punt. We'll see if there's a running into the kicker. Okay. They are going to call it.
And there's a flag.
We'll see if it's going to be a personal foul.
Coy Urban was back deep to punt for the Cobblers. But like they said, there is a flag on the play. Thrown by the white hat in the backfield.
Running into the kicker on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the end of the play. Be first down, down.
So it's running into the kicker. It's not a personal foul. It's just running into the kicker. So it's a 5-yard penalty. Lynx keep possession, okay, but it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. It'll drive the Lynx back a little bit to about the 43-yard line, and that's where the Lynx are going to start on offense. Like Bob said, number 84 is going to be your quarterback this evening. That's going to be Blomgren. He's going to have Timmer along with Scott with him in the backfield. He motions his tight end. That's Welch. He has Delaney off the line of scrimmage. They're going to give it to Scott. Scott's going to break open. He lead block from Timmer, gain of about 2 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 at the 45.
You know, they got through that first line, but the linebackers. I am struggling tonight, Ken. The linebackers crashed pretty hard and stopped them after a 2-yard gain.
So it brings up 2nd down and 8, 9:32 to go in this matchup on homecoming night here in Brandon, South Dakota. As number 11 for the Lynx, that's down to your bottom of your screen, is going to be Melcher. Play action. No, they give it to Scott. He gains about 3 more yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 from about the 48. That's where they'll mark it.
It looks like we've got Denham Rodham on the tackle for the Cobblers. A kind of I wouldn't say crucial first down, but kind of a big 3rd down to see, well, what's the coaches thinking? Have we got 2 downs to get a first down here, Ken, or do you put him in a passing situation?
Blomgren along with Scott. He has 2 receivers. That's Delaney and Melcher with him. Timmer in the wing. Great pass blocking by Timmer in that offensive line. First down as it's completed. Blomgren now in his career is 1 for 1 with a first down, Bob.
Well, okay, so I misled you a little bit, Ken. This is not his first time playing at varsity, just the first start. He did get in the last game, played a little bit. I'm not so certain what his stats were, but what a great catch by Delaney over here. And the throw was perfect. It's where the defense is not going to possibly get it. Delaney made an excellent catch.
Blomgren in the pistol. He's got Timmer with him. He gives it to Vestgranaut. Vestgranaut breaks it open. Great block by Delaney downfield. It's going to be a gain of about 8 yards as it's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 from the right at the 35-yard line. Lynx are driving here as that was a really good run by Vestgranaut. Vestgranaut comes in. He's number 31 for Scott.
Yeah, Henry Hill on the tackle there. He did a good job of squaring him up and bringing him down, but not before an 8-yard gain on the play.
Pistol formation. He also has Welch with him at tight end. Drops back. He's looking for Delaney. He's going to go with the deep ball. He's got him. Oh, one-handed grab is not caught, as a pretty good ball by Blomgren, as Delaney doesn't find it. Really good coverage, though, by the Cobblers defense.
You know, there was two people back there, but he got his hands on it. But, you know, not a poorly thrown ball there. Had a nice arc to it, throwing it over the top, and you hope that your kind of all-world receiver brings that in. But the good news is it's still 3rd and short, and I think it's 2 down territory here to get your last couple of yards. But Delaney's kind of coming off the field. He's not in the game on this one.
Melcher to his left. That's Blomgren in the pistol. They're going to give it to Vesker now. He is met in the backfield. It's going to be a negative play for the offense, as there was a blitz by the Cobblers. That is a loss of 2 yards, I believe, maybe 3, as that's going to pin the Lynx offense, and they're going to stay on the field.
And that was Whelan Bimbo.
Back onto the 38, and that's going to be a 3rd and 5, so a loss of 2, as we were at 3rd and 3, so it's going to be a 4th down, as your scoreboard still showing a 3rd down, 4th down and 5. Blomgren looks Delaney over the middle of the field, almost caught right in front of him, but really good coverage again by the Cobblers, as that's going to be a turnover on downs on the offense. Cobblers ball for their second possession.
It's all right. Got to get some nerves and some butterflies out of the stomach there on that first series of the game.
As your Lynx defense is going to come out to the field, as there was a really good defense before in that wing tee. Sometimes that wing tee offense is really hard to stop because there's a lot of motioning going on. You really don't know. It's going to be between about 3 people, as that's going to be Matthew. He motions and he gives it to number 24, I believe.
Number 21, I think, Ken.
Is it number 21?
I think it's number 21, Whelan Bimbo. He also plays defense for them, but because he made that breakup of that last one here. So that was a good deal. They got 3 yards on it. Not a bad inside running play. But like you said, the wing tee is kind of a tricky deal because you don't know exactly where to put all your efforts, because it could be one of 3, 4 players, or the quarterback keeper for that matter.
And a lot of times 11-man offenses do not run it like this. A 9-man do, and that's going to be a quarterback keeper, as Matthews sneaks up and he got out of the pile there, and he's almost at that first down marker.
Looks like he's about a yard short.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd down and 1 from the 48. As they want to move it, the first down chains. As the side judge here on the bottom saying move them, and they're going to give them the first down. Matthew has White, number 13, in the back on the wing with him, along with Jackson, and catches also right directly behind him. He's got Benbow, number 21. 2 receivers to his right. He motions that wing. That's going to be number 24, Jackson. He is met and stopped, I believe, by one of the safeties.
Number 27, Evan Gray. Nice play, and got in for maybe a half a yard gain.
So the Lynx, like we talked about, they run that 3-3-5 defense. The 3 safeties in the back are number 24. That's going to be Stroh, number 21, Leary, and number 29, Jelima. The 3 linebackers, 27, is going to be Gray. Number 21, Folkens, your middle linebacker, and number 1, your other outside linebacker, is going to be Williams. That is Matthews under center again. It looks like it's going to be false start on the Cobblers, and we'll see what they call. That's a first. It's going to be 2nd down. False start on the Cobblers.
5-yard penalty to play 2nd down.
It's a 5-yard penalty, so it'll bring up 2nd down and about 14, as the Cobblers are going to drive the ball all the way back to about the 44-yard line.
Yeah, that's a little more yards to gain in a running game versus a passing game. So this should help the Lynx defense a little bit.
Motion right to left. They give it. No, it's going to be Matthews with the keeper, and he's going to be brought down.
The ball might be loose. The Lynx is saying that the ball is loose. We shall see what the officials say.
It looks like the Cobblers are going to keep the ball there. Their possession, it's going to bring up a third down now in about 12, maybe 13 yards.
Evan Gray on the tackle there. And, boy, they really thought that ball came loose. But that's all right. Let's just get a stop here and get the ball back.
As that 3-3-5 defense is going to come to play here as the Cobblers are looking to go over to the 50-yard line on their side of the field. The three defensive linemen for your Lynx as we went through the secondary is going to be number 10, Swift, 56, Coughlin, and Zacher is going to be number 57. Timeout. Cobblers, they're going to take their first timeout as Matthews for the first time was in the shotgun. As we got 3:51 to go on the 2024 homecoming evening this Friday evening, and Bob said it was hot. It is hot. So we have a fan. Bob brings a fan, right? And yeah, he treats us pretty good up here. But Bob, I didn't know who number 2 was. And I kind of fumbled too, right? Number 2 catches it.
It wasn't in your information. Right? How are you supposed to know? Right.
And so Bob, what he does is he gives me. I have at least, I would say 10, almost 10 pieces of paper in front of me that I'm going through constantly to do the play-by-play. Right? You just don't do it just out of not looking at information. Bob provides that, and he provides a lot of information, but he did not provide number 2. Matthews, shotgun, 3rd and 13. Drops back. He rolls right. He's going to look to one of his receivers. It's incomplete. Really good coverage by number 21 for the Lynx, and that's going to be Leary, the free safety, coming over from the free safety position. So the Lynx defense, you don't typically see this a lot in high school football, the 3-3-5 defense, but I absolutely love it. You see the NFL really go into it too, is that they have that kind of hybrid safety, Bob. Yep. They have a traditional safety, but they got that hybrid safety. Pudwell back at about the 21-yard line, and there's the punt. Pudwell has had big returns, and he's going to get all the way up to the 30. He breaks a tackle. He moves down the sideline and gains more. He's going to go. Special teams coming up big. First score of the game, Lynx 6-0.
Yeah, I always, on those, Ken, I always look on the field to see if I see any of that ugly laundry, and I'm not seeing it anywhere, but what a great job. We talked about that at the start of the game. Special teams are big for the Lynx, and they've done a great job, and they set up a wall on the far side, and Pudwell just took it to the house on the far wall and got excellent blocking without blocking in the back.
Absolutely, and your kicker this evening is going to be number 14 for the Lynx.
Miles Hunt.
Miles Hunt. On for the extra point. Snap. Stroh with the hold. Hunt is good. 7-0 Lynx. 3:29 to go. First quarter. Lynx trying to go to 5-0 as they have a huge matchup next week against Lincoln at Howard Wood Field.
So Ken, you know what's unusual about that particular kick that has not happened all year for the Lynx?
Go ahead.
Every game that they scored the first touchdown, they've missed the extra point.
Really?
This is the first one where they've made it on the first touchdown.
You have that on your notes somewhere, or what?
No, I got it between the left ear and the right ear.
Oh, those notes.
Yes, because I had a conversation with the special teams coordinator, and we talked about that a little bit, and I said, that's big. We need to get those because you never know when that one point could make a difference in a game.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you all. I know we had a little bit of trouble. Some people had I got a couple texts here on YouTube, on the Lynx TV YouTube, that the camera wasn't moving and there's all sorts. So hopefully everything's figured out.
But
because if you are in Hawaii right now, which I wish I was, and you're on that island and you're watching the Lynx right now, you probably weren't able to see it. So thank you. Thank you for viewing. You're on channel 226 on the Lions channel and on YouTube around the world. There's a kick by Scott, and he is brought down by number 25 for the Lynx. And let me get number 25 here, Bob.
Well, I give you all this stuff, but is it number 25 on the tackle?
I believe so.
Gavin Johnson, if that's the case.
Yeah. I always refer to Bob because he's got he's got also sheets on the windows up here in the booth, and I don't know how he sees, but he's got sheets up there, and I have them all down here. But his fan's blowing all of my paperwork. So
I have to. This is my only time I'm going to correct you tonight, Keith.
Okay, go ahead.
But on those sheets that you're referencing on the window,
yeah,
was that number 2 that you said you did not have in your information?
Yeah,
it is on those sheets.
Okay, good.
Okay,
good.
So anyway, but you got them on your.
How
sheets,
about my play call sheet though?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, good.
Because that was not part of the starting lineup or the subs given to us by the opposing team.
That's good. Good.
But
so
that being said, doesn't matter.
So we have a penalty. It looks like a holding call, and that's going to drive the Cobblers back 10 yards. So they're going to start right at the 10-yard line. Lynx defense giving up just a tick over 5 points per game, 5.3 points per game. This is where they can come alive real quick, as they've been really, really suffocating already in this game. Williams with the blitz. And it's a give out of that wing T, and we'll see the number here.
Looks like it's a two-yard gain, maybe 3.
That's going to be number 21. That's going to be Benbow with the carry. That's going to be a 2, maybe 3-yard gain.
He doesn't come off the field, doesn't sound like.
No, and a lot of them don't, Bob. Matthews at quarterback still. He's under center. He's got the wing tee. He's got his receiver out to his left. He is covered by Carroll, the corner. There's play action. Wide open. Number 10 for the Cobblers. That's Easton Graff. And the Lynx were thinking run. As you can see, the safeties were climbing toward the line of scrimmage. Nobody was back deep. The tight end, Graff with the catch, and a big first down as they go across the 50 all the way down to the 25.
Yeah, he kind of did his faux blocking deal on the end and just snuck out behind the linebackers, and we were crashing, and we got caught.
First down and 10 from the 25 as the Lynx defense has to come up big here. They can't give up a score, right? They got to keep that average down. Matthews, play action. Incomplete as it's intended for Benbow, one of his wing. You can't really. It's either a wing back or the direct fullback. It's not even a running back truly right behind him, which is about 3 yards behind the quarterback. If you look on your screen there, you'll see the formation. Typically, they'll have a formation where there's just one wide receiver out, as you can see to the left. Now they actually go into a little bit of a spread formation, if you can say that, for this offense. They motion their running back. They do give it to number 11, the other wing, and
Hill.
That's going to be Hill with the carry. Brings up a 3rd down and 9. Lynx defense trying to come up big. They do not want to give up scores in this ball game, and we've seen some really good in the past here with the Lynx defense shutouts in football games, which is very rare in today's, I would say, kind of offensive game, right, Bob, in football.
It is very much an offensive game. So number 57 was on the tackle for the Lynx, and that was Makai Zocker. It was nice to have him back. He was out for a couple of games, but it looks like it's got 4th down and about 6. We'll see what the Cobblers do here. A little bit probably too short to punt the ball. It would be a 21, 31, 38-yard field goal to try it.
4th and 6 from the 21. See if the Lynx dial up a blitz or they sit back in the zone. We'll see what they do. Play action. Incomplete. Lynx defense holds. Lynx ball.
You know, I liked what the defensive line did. They figured out that they weren't going to get to the quarterback, so they were putting their hands up in the passing lanes trying to knock the ball down so he didn't have a clear line of sight for the receiver.
If you've ever, you folks at home or wherever you're watching in your whatever you're doing in your your garage, wherever, to call play-by-play for a wing T offense is really, really tough. I'm figuring that out really quick. So Blomgren, pistol formation, Timmer right to his left, and I believe Veshkernaz with him. Gives it to Veshkernaz. Big hole up the middle, all the way down to the 35, maybe 36. They're going to say 35-yard line. Gain of 4 brings up a second down and 6 from the 25-yard line.
You know, the one thing that makes the Lynx running game a little bit different than a lot of schools in South Dakota run, they primarily run inside the tackles. And they run inside the deal. And for them to get some of those big yard gains is a huge testament to what the offensive line is doing.
Blomgren in the traditional shotgun now. He's got Veshkernaz with him. He motions Delaney. They're going to give it to Delaney. Veshkernaz looking for a big block. Grabs it. Grabs the first down. That's Delaney. And he tight ropes the sideline all the way to the 45-yard line. First down, Lynx.
What a good, safe play to one of the more athletic people on the field.
So first down and 10. Lynx up 7-0. There is 5 seconds left in the first quarter as Delaney was pushed out of bounds right at the 45-yard line. First down and 10 for the Lynx. Now into a pistol. He's got Timmer along with him. That's his fullback. Veshkernaz right in back of him with Melcher and Delaney. Veshkernaz. Big hole again. And he's going to go up to about the 39-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 38-yard line. First down, Lynx, as we have a Cobbler player that is down. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. Lynx up 7-0 on homecoming 2024 in Brandon, South Dakota.
Yeah, that was Coy Urban on the knockout there, but what a good execution. We're trying to see, it looks like the training staff is out along with the head coach for the Cobblers, checking on the player that's down. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of very large Brandon Valley players that are right in front of our vantage point to see who's actually down on the field. But I was thinking that the offensive, it was one of the offensive linemen, and I was thinking his number started with a 7 from what I can see there. But we'll give you, as soon as we know the number, we'll let you know. But they're taking a good look at him on the field and giving everybody a well-deserved water break to make sure that they stay hydrated on this very hot evening. And
as we know, I mean, the Cobblers, a lot of their players go both ways, right? So it's going to be draining a little bit. You have to be hydrated. I'm not saying it's cramps. I'm not saying dehydration or anything like that that's happening right now. But what I'm saying is that when you have to go both ways, and I don't know what the temperature is, 80?
It was about 90 when I came in
at
4 o'clock, so hopefully it's cooled down.
Well, it's 105 in here.
At least.
Yeah, okay.
All right, looks like he's up and they're helping him off there. Looks like number 77 for the Cobblers, Charlie McDonald. He is kind of limping off the deal, but he's kind of trying to jog and kind of work it out, so almost favoring like is a cramp there, but we just don't want anybody to get hurt on a night like tonight, or any night for that matter.
As the Lynx coming into the second quarter here picked up 2 straight first downs as Delaney tight-roped that sideline all the way to the 45, and now Veshkernaz with a big hole opened up by his offensive line. Got it all the way down to the 38. Hats off to that offensive line, and we will talk about them here in a little bit. Blomgren, Timmer, pistol formation. Veshkernaz. No, they're going to give it to Delaney. Blomgren's going to get a big block, and he does. He's going to follow him all the way down the sideline. Delaney, it looks like he breaks a tackle, and he does at about the 3-yard line and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Lynx.
And more importantly, no flags.
13-0. Lynx start the second quarter with an end around. We've seen that twice now just on this possession alone. Delaney gained probably right around 60 yards on this possession, all from basically a running back position, right, on the end around.
So I got a question, Ken.
Go ahead.
With those little flips, are those considered passes, or that's considered part of the run game? I know in the pros, those are considered passes, and so Lundgren is going to have about 120 yards if that's the case.
Well,
that's 2 in a row on the extra points.
Well,
they made some kind of adjustments this week.
Yeah, I think it's in high school. I think it is the run game, right? I think it's rushing. But Hunt, his kick is good. He's 2 for 2. Links up 14-0 as they take advantage of the defense that kind of got put on their heels a little bit the last drive by the Cobblers, as Graff, their tight end, went over to the 50, a big gainer all the way down to the 25, but the Lynx gave up about 2 yards on when the Cobblers got down to the 25, didn't let them in the red zone at all. Turnover on possession. Lynx offense takes advantage of that, which they have done all year. They're averaging 33.5 points per game, and a lot has to do with that Lynx defense. It is 14-0 early in this ball game.
All right, so back deep for the Cobblers. We got number 11 Henry Hill and number 20 Coy Urban, and we get to kick at least from the shade, so maybe it's a little cooler in the shade down there, Ken.
Lynx moving right to left on your screen. That's going to be Scott, the running back. And there's the kick. Taken at the 10. Cuts it up the middle of the field. He is met. It breaks a tackle, dives all the way to the 22, maybe 23-yard line.
And the ball must have came out, but they ruled it down by the back official.
And that player is down for the Cobblers.
Oop, he's popping back up. That's good to see.
And that's where the Cobblers are going to start their 4th possession on offense in this first half. At 11:45 to go in the first half, Links up 14-0 on the 5th game of this season, where I can't believe we're already driving into the second half of the regular season. Links are 4-0, ranked 3rd in 11 AAA. Wing formation again for Matthews. And quarterback sneak as he's going to gain 1 yard. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9.
And Parker Coughlin on the tackle, which would be our pretty much our interior lineman there. Did a good job of standing the center up and grabbing the quarterback as he hit that hole.
2nd down and 9 as the Cobblers in the huddle. We'll see if they do use their tight end again as Graff popped wide open. I know that Coach Christensen and the defense, they're probably going to try to jam that tight end off the line and not give him a free release. Motion. Give it to Benbow. Benbow is going to gain a 1st down and more. He's actually pushed, or he actually drugged a couple of defenders for the Lynx. It's going to be a 1st down for the Cobblers.
So Nolan Pudwell is on the tackle, but he's got to come out for a play because the helmet popped off, and now they got to make sure that they don't get surprised with a pass over the top when you don't have one of your better secondary defenders back there for a play.
1st down and 10 from the 32. Cobblers in the wing T formation. You can see Matthews, their quarterback, number 1. He's got 2 wings. He's going to motion catches. No, he's going to give it back to number 24. That's going to be Jackson.
There's a flag on the play in the backfield, typically in the area where you would show holding, but they still caught him behind the line. Looks like for maybe no gain.
We'll see what our head referee, Derek Omi, is going to call. Hopefully, hey, I got that right.
Omi, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't have to. This is not my sheet. Yeah. This is from next door.
Yeah, the head referee.
I would have that phonetically written out for you. So.
Offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Good play.
But what good penetration. Forcing that defense to hold so that forcing the offense to hold so that they didn't get caught in the backfield on a loss. That didn't turn out so well.
It's going to be a 10-yard penalty on the Cobblers, 1st and 10 from about the 22. How
about that? Every single one of the defenders is within the first 7-8 yards.
Lynx crowding the line. They have 5 defensive linemen up there. That's about 2 or 3 linebackers that are actually hovering around the line to try to stop this wing T offense. That's going to be a gain of about 9 yards It's going to bring up a second, or I would say about 8 yards. It's going to bring up a second down and 11 from about the 31.
The 9-yard gain. Looks like Drake Jellema was the last guy to crawl out of the pile, so we'll give it to him for a tackle.
Tight formation, wing T formation, as Benbow's directly behind Matthews. They give it to Benbow. He's going to scamper all the way up to about the 39-yard line, and he's going to gain about 7 yards. So
should be about third down. The far side only says first down, but our line judge down here, the marker shows 3. So come on, defense. Let's try to stop this.
Third down and 3 from the 39, as it looks like it may be a passing down. We'll see what the Cobblers do. You know, the Lynx are going to crowd the line. You see the safeties creeping up. There's the give. It's a first down and more by Benbow, his second straight carry first down as the Cobblers gain that first down all the way up to the 48-yard line. 9 minutes to go, first half.
Yeah, right now they're getting past that first line of defense, and so they're putting 5 on 3 to get up through there and sneaking some of those guys through to block on the linebackers. That's how you gain that many yards on an up-the-gut run.
Matthews under center. He's got Benbow has 2 straight carries back to back. They're going to give it to number 24. That's going to be Jackson, and he finds the edge, and he's going to find the first down again. As the Lynx defense, 2 consecutive first downs here in the past, in the 2 consecutive plays, as the Cobblers go over the 50-yard line. A big gain by Jackson, and we have a player down for the Lynx.
Knocked him out of bounds there.
And I think it's going to be actually a heat timeout. So no timeouts called by any team. I believe they're just taking a heat timeout, I believe.
Which is a good safety precaution on a warm end of September night. Who would think, Ken?
Actually, I was wrong. The Lynx did take a timeout here. So 2 timeouts apiece right now for the Lynx and the Cobblers. Lynx up 14-0, 8:31 to go on your screen. The ball's on the 35, second and 11 for the Cobblers. The Lynx defense has been kind of a bend, don't break, really, defense right now early in this ball game, as we've seen a couple big runs by the Cobblers and a big pass from Matthews to Graff on the last series. We'll see what the defense does. They typically try to run. They'll run that counter back to the shorter side of the field, but they'll run those big sweeps to the wide side, which is at the top of your screen. And they're going to counter back to Benbow. That's number 21. He's going to gain 5 yards. Brings it up to second and 5 from the 30-yard line.
Austin Dowd on the tackle. This is the first time that we've been able to see that he entered the game and made a nice tackle there. So before about a 5-yard gain.
So second and 5 from the 30, 8 minutes to go, first half. 2 receivers to Matthews right for the Cobblers. He's got Benbow directly behind him. He motions, catches, play action, rolls right. He finds his receiver. It is underthrown. He tries to go to his tight end Graff again at about the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up a third down and 5.
He doesn't look too comfortable rolling out and trying to pass there. He's much more comfortable running the wing T offense there and creating misdirection. But this is a big play here.
Third down and 5. Lynx faithful are coming to their feet, and the stands are full for this homecoming evening. Matthews under center, 3rd and 5. He's got Benbow with him. They're going to motion catches number 2 from right to left. They give it to Benbow. He finds nothing, but he breaks it outside, and he's going to gain maybe 3. They're gonna mark it almost at the first down, Bob.
Yeah, Dylan Williams on the deal, but they gave him the first down.
So 3 defenders for the Lynx trying to pull down Benbow. Benbow, he carries the ball pretty hard there. I mean, he's
a strong runner, and the legs keep churning.
And that's what the Cobblers want to do. They want to eat the clock, right? They do not want to give it to the Lynx offense. They want to eat clock. They want to take a methodical drive down the field, okay? Typically, I'm sure you don't see a lot of that on the last series where that big throw down the seam to their tight end. Matthews. He motions Jackson.
Yes.
It's up and overthrown. His intended receiver is going to be number 13, White Jr., at about the 5-yard line, as number 21 for the Lynx. That's going to be Leary, your free safety. As you can see in the middle of the field to your right of your screen there on the coverage. It's going to bring 2nd down and 10 from the 25.
That was a good play call. He was open. If he would have hit him with the pass, that would have been touchdown.
As Cobblers 2nd down and 10. 7:07 to go. Lynx defense really trying to stay on their toes here, as this is a hard offense to stay on your toes on because there's so much movement going on. Number 24, that's going to be Jackson with the carry. And he carries a couple defenders also. He's going to gain about 5 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 again.
It looks like they had number 57, Makai Zocker, on the tackle. Heard his name a couple of times tonight on tackles.
As the Lynx defense, they want to bring everybody to their feet. They want a big stop here as the Cobblers enter their red zone for the first time this evening. 6:35 to go, first half. Lynx up 14-0. Matthews motions, catches. They give it to Jackson. He's going to gain the 1st down and more, and he's going to be brought down at about the 11-yard line. They're going to move the sticks. That stops the clock with 6:24 to go, as the Cobblers' offensive coordinator has really found something on kind of those counters, Bob, that you're seeing. They throw a lead blocker in there too. It's really unconventional. It's really, really hard to defend if it's ran really well. Well, O'Gorman used to do it, and they won state titles doing it, right? And so that's going to be Matthews. Gives it to Benbow. He's going to be stopped by number 57, Zocker, with about his 3rd, maybe 4th tackle in the ball game. That brings up a 2nd down with a loss of 2. 2nd down and 12 from about the 12, 13-yard line.
Yeah, what they're trying to do, Ken, is they're using the aggressiveness of the Lynx defense against them, doing those counter plays, and they're hoping that they over-pursue.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 12. They're going to call it 5:27 to go in this first half. Cobblers are driving. They're at about the 12, 13-yard line, and that's going to be given to Catches. He breaks a tackle. He's going to go all the way up to the 10-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down in about 8, maybe 9-ish. As we can, Bob has his binoculars. I have my contacts in to see.
And they're about the same thickness. But that was Makai Zocker and Jelima on the tackle. But now, big play. You got to watch that guy sneaking out of the backfield on those release passes here.
You also got to think about here, Bob, the Cobblers probably aren't going to settle for field goals, so they're going to probably try to treat this as like a traditional 2nd down, maybe run the ball here and try to catch the Lynx defense off guard a little bit here. There's going to be a timeout, though. The Cobblers don't like the formation. Timeout, Cobblers. And I'm going to have Bob go over our Lynx TV sponsors real quick here.
All right, our All-American sponsors are Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling, Chesterman Company, Midcoat Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Our MVP sponsors are First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health in Brandon, Sanford Health and Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And our champion sponsors are Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance Josh Koob Agency, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital, Sunshine Foods Stores, and Today's Family Dentistry. Thank you again to all of our sponsors and fans. If you're watching and you're in the areas, go out and support these folks, because that's why they support us, in hopes that you will help support them.
Absolutely. Thank you, sponsors. And Bob just called it. Go out and support them, please, those businesses that are supporting us and able to bring this live. Big third down and 9 Matthews under center for the Cobblers. He's going to give it to Catches, and he is going to be brought down at about the 7, maybe 6-ish yard line. We'll see where they mark it. I would say the 7-yard line. 4th down for your Lynx defense. That I would say the Lynx defense right now in the state. I don't know what Harrisburg's given up, and I don't know what Lincoln's given up on for points. But it's hard to beat 5.3 points per game, right?
It is,
Bob?
absolutely.
And so I would say the Lynx are right up there at number 1. Let's let that bring them out of them a little bit. They need to hold here.
Looks like they're going for it.
4th down and 6. And the Cobblers can gain a first down here. Matthews. It is intercepted by Carroll, and he's going to go down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. A host of Lynx are down there as Matthews is trying to catch him. He does not. Touchdown, Lynx.
And no flags on the play, doesn't look like.
As
They're going for the extra point. The head coach is either calling for the extra point or telling somebody they're number 1. One of the two.
yeah, I think they're going to go for 1. Hunt's going to come out there for the extra point, but a big defensive play, and great defense for the Lynx comes up big when they need to, right inside that end zone, and they turn it into points, which is even better. 20-0, 3:35 to go in the first half on a Friday evening here in Brandon, South Dakota. Stroh on to hold for Hunt. Snap is good. Hunt, good. 21-0. Lynx on homecoming 2024 in Brandon, South Dakota.
You know, on that play, Kent, we know who got credit for the interception of the touchdown, but there was 2 other Lynx right in the passing lane right there as well that could have just easily picked that off. That was good, properly scouted, and good execution on the defensive secondary.
Well, they know Matthews is going to roll out right? That's what he's done all this first half. He's not rolling out left, so you can really plan defensively. And we know this coaching staff is going to make adjustments all through this ball game. That's why you're 4-0, right, Bob? And so the hats off to the coaching staff also for putting the players in the position to make plays, but the players got to make the plays, right? And Carroll jumps that pass. He goes down the sideline right at the numbers. Defensive touchdown. And that, I always say this, you have really good defenses right there, out there in the world, right? In football, right? But what makes you a great defense? What puts you in the category of being great? Is scoring defenses, right? Yep. Right, scoring. You can hold people, right? You can hold people to certain points, certain yards between the 20s, and how you're doing inside that red zone and scoring makes you a great defense. And right now, the Lynx through 4.5 ball games right now, Bob. They're playing great defense.
They're playing fantastic defense.
Scott with a dribbler the up back for the Cobblers, going to take it at about the 30 all the way down to, or should say up to the 36-yard line, and that's where the Cobblers are going to start on offense. Cobblers have taken 2 timeouts so far. They have 1, which is going to play prevalent into this first half as there's 3:31 to go. At some point, you got to get out of the wing tee and you got to start throwing the ball, because that scoreboard's not going to allow you, and the Lynx sideline they're not going to take their foot off the pedal, right? They're going to keep on going. And so at some point you're going to have to see a lot of throws from Matthews. Matthews under center. He gives it to Benbow. Benbow's been most of the offense so far for the Cobblers. He's going to gain about 6, maybe 7 yards, brings it up to about the 42-yard line, and it's going to be
Evan Gray on the tackle. Did an excellent job just maintaining his ground, and after he got through that first layer, he brought him down right there, but not before about a 6-yard gain.
6-yard gain for Benbow. That's number 21 for the Cobblers. He is kind of your fullback directly behind, when you're looking from left to right on the screen, directly behind Matthews. They motion Jackson, and he's going to carry it up to to about the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Looks like Pudwell tripped him up there. We'll see what kind of a defense that they want to run here to see if we can stop that. They're definitely going to go for it if it's this close.
And I know the Cobblers offense wants some consistency, right? But I keep on pointing to the scoreboard, right? And you don't want to, as a coach, you don't want to chase the scoreboard, but it's still the first half. All right, so you're at 2:20 right now. At what point are you going to open up the offense? Benbow stuffed in the backfield. No, he's going to gain a first. No, it's going to be a fumble. And the Lynx defense comes up big again as a turnover. Lynx offense back on the field.
Yeah, that was just a good hard hit at the line. He was trying to fight for that extra yardage and didn't secure the ball there, and the ball popped out. Nice play by the defense to recover that.
And I think the first initial hit, and I don't know who it was in the backfield, but it really got Benbow kind of kiltered sideways, and then another big hit, fumble, Lynx ball. Melcher is going to be to the formation, moving right to left. That's going to be Blomgren. Blomgren with Scott. Blomgren's going to keep it with a lead block from his running back, Scott, and he's going to gain about 6 yards. Brings up a 2nd down and 4 from the 40-yard line. Lynx still have 2 timeouts remaining, 2:06 to go first half.
And he ran out of bounds, which stops the clock, which is good if you're trying to angle for another score here before halftime.
Melcher and Delaney are 2 receivers. Melcher's is at the bottom of your screen with Delaney to his right. Timmer and Delaney's going to motion. They give that pitch to Delaney, and he's going to get a first down. That's the most important part. That stops the clock right at 2 minutes with moving the chains. You don't have to use a timeout. They're going to wind the clock as Derek Ohm, the referee, the white hat that you see on the field at the middle of the field, winds that clock. And we're at 1:50 to go first half. Lynx are in no hurry at this point, as it looks like Blomgren is going to have Timmer in the pistol along with him, Scott right behind him. He does have Delaney. Looks like Delaney is man-to-man coverage. We'll see if they go to him. They are. And Delaney's going to find it. High points it. Touchdown! Lynx.
He just jumped out there and reached that ball over the goal line.
Perfect throw. It was kind of underthrown, right? But Delaney kind of boxed out his defender, right, and went up and got it. Gained 3 yards, got over the white line, which is the most important part of the goal line. Delaney's 2nd touchdown of the ball game. We do have a Cobbler down at about the 30-yard line. It looks like an offensive line or defensive lineman.
I believe it's the same gentleman. Charlie McDonald seems to be down there. So I think heat's becoming an issue there. They got trainers out there and they're looking at him, but he's playing both ways.
As the offensive coordinator is Coach Zur. Okay, he's up in the booth at the other side of the booth of us. He radios down to Coach Garrow. That's going to be A.J. Garrow, the son of the late Chad Garrow. He radios down, they hand signal to Blomgren, right, or whoever's at quarterback, if it's Knutson, Blomgren, whoever it is. And so what they saw, I think from a coaching standpoint for myself, being a coach, is you see man-to-man coverage. Well, you have a wide receiver that is committed to go to a Division I football team in the Jackrabbits in the state of South Dakota. We got man-to-man coverage. You're going to him.
And it helps that you're 6'2" to 6'3", very athletic and fast, and you're throwing all that. Now, you would have a lot of those things as a Division I receiver, but the 6'2" to 6'3" you don't often have.
So great call by Coach Zur and his staff to make that happen. They're seeing that just as we see it from up here. They got a great vantage point from the view that we have. Hunt on for his 4th attempt at the extra point. He is 3 for 3. Strode a hold. Snap up and good. Hunt is 4 for 4. It is now 28-0 Lynx on this Friday evening here in Brandon, South Dakota.
Yeah, that was just a good couple of series. They got him thinking about run. quarterback sneak or their end around, then they kind of run something that was very similar in look and feel. But yet he took a step forward, and then he launched it up towards the middle and let his receiver go up and grab it.
Lynx on that drive, you saw a little bit of Blomgren with the quarterback keeper as he was led by Scott, his running back. Came to about a second and 4. They see the man-to-man coverage at the far side of the field at the top of your screen. Underthrown a little bit by Blomgren. Great play by Delaney at about the 3-yard line as he boxed out his defender, catches it over the goal line. Touchdown. Delaney now has 3 touchdowns in this first half.
All right, so back deep for the Cobblers. We've got number 11, Henry Hale, and number 20, Coy Urban, to run the kickoff back. Come on, special teams. Let's not wipe out all the momentum and let a long run go.
Scott with a big kick as the Cobblers are going to take it at about the 5-yard line. That's going to be number 20.
Oh, nice job, special teams.
For the Cobblers.
Got maybe a yard, maybe 2.
So we talk about the scoreboard, right? You talk about how do you gain momentum for the Cobblers, okay? Is you got to maybe try to change up a little bit offense, right? The Lynx are going to stop your run. That's the focal point, okay? They know that you're going to try to run out of that wing T. Well, how do you make that you make the safeties not climb so far to the line of scrimmage or the linebackers to that point? You open it up a little bit. Cobblers, offense at the 20, left to right on your screen. Matthews gives it to Benbow. He's going to be stopped right there at about the 25-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. Brings up a second down and 6. We're going to go below about a minute to go on the clock. Cobblers have 1 timeout remaining in their pocket. We'll see if they use it.
Yeah, Brighton Stroh on the tackle there. What a good tackle.
Lynx defense coming up big so far in this ball game. They've been tested a little bit with the Cobblers going into the red zone twice. They've bent, but they have not broke. As that's going to be catches with the carry out of the wing, and he is met for a 1-yard gain. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 4, maybe 5. Now, what the Lynx could do offensively, they have 2 timeouts remaining. They could call a timeout.
Timeout Lynx.
They do.
But just like you knew.
Well,
just like you knew.
Well, maybe that's what I would have done too. So great job, Coach Christensen and your staff. Really good job. I always say this, okay? The Cobblers aren't scoreboard chasing right now, right? I mean, they have to just get something moving offensively and defensively, right? You got to get some consistency. But what I like from the coaching staff from the Lynx is that when you have, and I'm not saying this in a negative way at all to the Cobblers, so I know a lot of you are probably watching the game, is when from a coaching standpoint, when you have somebody kind of pinned down a little bit, you got to keep the pedal down, right? Because in football, things can change really quick. We could have a fumble and then all of a sudden there's a score, right? And I'm not saying this is going to happen for the Lynx or the Cobblers, but if the Lynx got the ball here and they had a fumble or interception, turns into points for the Cobblers, whatever it is. There's a lot of things that can change, and we're only in the first half. So I like what the Lynx are doing from a coaching standpoint. As Benbow is going to be stopped. Let's see if there's another timeout. As the Lynx do have another timeout, they are going to stop the clock with 19 seconds to go. Now we're going to see how good the punting team is for the Cobblers. Or we'll see remember, the last time a punt happened, remember what happened, Bob? Pudwell takes it back for a touchdown. So that's got to be in the back of the mind of the Cobblers coaching staff also, right?
Yeah. It's how comfortable you are with your punt game. Well, we know it let you down once because Brandon made an excellent setup, an excellent return. Pudwell took it to the outside and down the channel for a touchdown. They got to be setting up something too here to see, okay, are they truly going to punt? If they are, we want to be set up to see if we can get maybe close enough to get another score of some sort.
And remember, you don't take a lot of chances here on fakes and stuff like that, especially when you're at the 24-yard line and you're coming out of your end zone, right? Because the Lynx truly only have 24 yards to get to pay dirt and make this a 34 to 35 point ball game. So the Cobblers really have to protect this punt also and be careful. Pudwell is back. He's to the right of your screen, the punt returner for the Lynx. He's going to come up to the 35. It's a pooch kick, and that's actually probably really thought out well by the Cobblers, as they didn't want Pudwell to touch the ball, and he did not.
And several seconds ran off the clock as the ball was kind of rolling down the field, and we're waiting to down it. So
8 seconds to go, first half.
Yeah, that was not their normal punter. The normal punter for the Cobblers is Tristan Ducheneau, but it looks like Coy Urban did that punting job right there, and kind of probably did what they wanted it to do, is eat some time off the clock and see what is Brandon going to kneel down, or do you think they'll take a shot down the field?
I think they're going to take a shot. They're in a formation. They have enough receivers out, Delaney and Melcher, and it looks like they're going to try to pop Delaney, open up the seam. We'll see what they do. Two receivers to the left. We'll see what they do. As Blomgren has time, he goes up to Delaney. They do across the field, but the time is going to run out, as Delaney is going to be brought down at about the 22-yard line, first down. But that's going to do it for the first half on homecoming night 2024 here in Brandon, South Dakota. The Lynx at 4-0 coming into this ball game, looking to go to 5-0 on the season. They're well on their way. At halftime, it's 28-0.
All right, so be sure to watch at halftime. We're going to have the Lynx marching band coming out, and we're also going to have the dance team come out and perform for everybody at halftime here. So the band is coming out now, setting up their halftime show, and it is quite a show. We've had the opportunity to watch it a couple of times here, and they always do an excellent job. And then we'll have the dance team come out, and in past years, the dance team has been state champions at different events, and I should say champions at different events, and also a state champion, if I do believe. So it should be some excellent.
Yeah. So what Bob's saying is, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I know that you probably got to get some chips and salsa. I could use some chips and salsa. I'm a little hungry. Bob did give me I didn't have any time to get anything to drink, so he gave me a Coca. What is this? A cherry
Coke Zero.
Cherry Coke Zero.
Quite possibly the best soft beverage. Even though you shouldn't be drinking a lot of pop, we shouldn't.
Are you sponsored by Coca-Cola?
I am not, but I should be.
Okay. You drink a lot of that?
More than I should.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
But it's darn good, and it's 0 calories.
Okay. Well, a little insight to what Bob does every day. And I don't think he's sponsored by him, but he may be. So, halftime, 28-0. Your Lynx, like we talked about, they are going into this ball game 4-0, and they're third ranked right now in 11 AAA. And I think Bob's going to give us some scores going into halftime, maybe other places.
So over to O'Gorman for O'Gorman's homecoming. Number 4 Jefferson is playing O'Gorman, and Jefferson's up 34-0 with 3 minutes to go in the third period. And then out at Howard Wood Field, number 2 ranked Brookings in the class below, or AA, is playing Sioux Falls Roosevelt, and Roosevelt's up 26-14. And so that's all the scores that are actively going right now in AAA. Over in T area is playing Mitchell, and they're up 33-0 in Class AA. Over in Class A, we've got St. Thomas More is playing Lakota Tech, and they're up 69-0 as a final. Vermilion's taking on Millbank down to the Dakota Dome, and they're up 7-0 with 2 minutes to go in the second.
All right, and I'm gonna pause you here, Bob. As we are going to bring this performance by the Lynx Marching Band. I hear them every night practicing, and they put in a lot of time, and this is a tremendous performance. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've just watched the Brandon Valley Lynx marching band perform their halftime show, and they will be in competition tomorrow. I believe, well, they've got the home competition in the evening called the Review, and they'll be here as a exhibition program because it is their home program. And many schools will be going over to Laverne in the morning and kind of do a two event show. One in Laverne in the morning and one here in the Big Sioux Review in the evening. So if you've got nothing going on tomorrow night, be sure you come back and support the marching band and so forth, and come to the Big Sioux Review right here, where there'll be many programs producing some high quality shows for the entertainment of their parents and grandparents and so forth. Now coming up, as the band is clearing the field, the Brandon Valley dance team is about ready to take the field for their performance. It'll be right about the 40-yard line or so, so be sure to watch that closely and see some excellent routines and some excellent performances by the dance team.
And we will pause for that also, so you're able to enjoy that. We apologize for the beginning of the show for the Brandon Valley Marching Band. They did not have the microphones on, but we got that fixed really quick for you. So hopefully you enjoyed that tremendous performance, and we're about to have our dance team. Am I correct?
Absolutely. And when I was watching them warm up, there's a lot of very intricate moves that they perform all in unison. So let's give them a hand at home as they're coming onto the field, because I tell you what, these young ladies and performers work every bit as hard as any athlete you'll ever find to perfect what they're doing.
All right, and we'll shut off our mics and you enjoy.
That was the Brandon Valley Lynx dance team, and what a performance. They did a great job out on the field. Looks like we've got about just under 3 minutes to go for the halftime break. we'll see the team start to come out and get kind of, I would say warmed up, but I think they're probably plenty warm as it is with the temperatures that's out here right now. But we've had a good first half for the Lynx. The offense has put up some points. The defense has, and special teams has put up points. We're getting a good play by the special teams with the extra points, which has been something that they've had to work on from the first couple of weeks. So it's nice adjustments there. I noticed that the snaps back on those holds have been a little bit better tonight, so that makes it easier on the holder and easier on the kicker to get his timing. But looks like the Lynx are coming back on the field now.
Absolutely. Great first half by your Lynx offense, catapulted from the defense, right? The defense has been stifling and suffocating, whatever you want to call it, all year. But they're holding true to that, too. Great defenses. They sometimes will allow yards between the 20s, okay? But when it pushes into the red zone from the 20 to the goal line, you become great. And you become great with also a scoring defense, and all of a sudden we were becoming that, as you could see, as Carroll took that one from about the corner, number 23, Carroll, the senior, took that about the 3, maybe 4 yard line with a host of blockers with him, and ran it all the way down for a touchdown, for about 97-yard touchdown for the Lynx defense. So that defense is playing really well. Offensively also, with the sophomore quarterback, number 84, Blumgren, he's playing really well. Kind of composed in there, right? We're not throwing the ball a ton, but we're throwing it when it matters, and we're completing passes when it matters also. And so that's a big deal. Offensive line wise, and we really got to point out our offensive line for the Lynx, as they do a tremendous job not only opening up holes for the running backs in Scott and Veshkina and some of our quarterbacks, and we've seen a lot of Delaney running the ball too on the sweeps on end arounds, but and number 75, that's Lucas Feldkamp. He's your left tackle. The left guard is number 68. That's Cal Weesey. And our center is number 62, Isaac Mitzel. Right guard, he's number 64. That's Hudson Parliament. You've heard him from past years. He's done really, really well. The right tackle, number 62. That's number 58. That's Bryce Bangasser. There you go. And so when I look at the size of the offensive line, all right, and I'm just going to estimate with a couple guys hovering around the 300 mark, and everybody else at 260 or above. So we'll just put it at about a 275 range, 275 average. And everybody right around that 6'2 to 6'3 range in height. The left guard, Cal Weesey, which he does a great job. He's 5'11". He's your shortest offensive lineman, and along with Welch, okay, and you got to remember that you have Timmer, also your fullback, number 44 out there, and Timmer, he's 5'10", 230 pounds, so you got a lot coming at you, right? And it's all about that offensive line, okay, and with the defensive line. And especially, and also with the defense for the Lynx too, it all starts up front. That's where football starts, right? Football 101 is your offense and defensive lines. If you don't have a good one on both sides, you're typically not going to have a really good football team, right? And right now, offensively and defensively, the offense and defensive line are playing tremendous for the first half of this football season in 2024. Lynx are at 4-0, looking to go 5-0 on the season, and they're well on their way. Like I said, 28-0 going into halftime. But one thing you want to point out is special teams too are playing big too. So you got to play good on all phases too, right? And Pudwell takes it back for a touchdown. Well, that jump starts your sideline. It really does. Any special teams really jump starts the sideline and makes everything really, really as a positive factor on all three phases. But there's also a fourth phase to this, okay? And it is the coaching staff. The coaching staff, when you're calling plays, okay, offensively or defensively, okay, as your defensive or offensive coordinator, and you're in a chess match with the other sideline, their offense or defensive coordinator, right? You got to call the right plays, right? And so far this season, they are second to none. And I haven't seen Harrisburg play. I haven't seen Lincoln play, but I've seen what our coaching staff has done, and they are calling really, really good plays at really good times in the ball game to put their players. And this starts on Monday, or actually probably starts on Sunday. I don't know when they're watching film, okay, but from the game on Saturday. But it starts on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, leading up to Friday night, right? And this coaching staff is doing a tremendous job. I put this coaching staff up against any team in the state of South Dakota and other states, okay, is they are putting these athletes in great position to win football games, and the athletes are able to play fast. And for a defense to be suffocating like they are, Bob, you got to be able to play fast, right? And not really think so much and just play fast. And so offensively too, they are doing just a tremendous job of really playing to their strengths. You know, you have a running game, but you also have a tremendous passing game. So hats off to all of them, and special teams also. Great job. Lynx starting with the ball. There's a pooch kick all the way up to the 25-yard line, and that's where it's going to be downed. And they're going to say, actually, they're going to move it all the way up. I'm looking at the side judge. He's going to go all the way up to the 35-yard line. No, he's going to keep on moving. What are we doing here? Oh, it's going to be a re-kick. Offsides on the kicking team. That's going to be the Cobblers. I know I got a lot of long-winded there, but this team's playing really well, and they deserve us to talk about them in a positive way, right? They really deserve it. I mean, you're about to, if things go well in the third and fourth quarter here, you're about to go to 5-0, and you got a huge matchup next week, and we'll talk about that probably in the fourth quarter a little bit. But this team's really good, and you fans need to enjoy it. It is taken at about the 20-yard line, and a big run and a big hole all the way up to, this return is going to be all the way up to the 47-yard line. And that's going to actually be a first down, and that's where we're going to start the actual first possession on offense for the Lynx. And I was just handed something, and Bob says, no, don't worry about it. Okay, all right, I won't worry about it. We'll watch the game, all right? I'm watching it along with you. I'm just talking about it, everyone. As your quarterback, that's going to be Blomgren. He's going to give to Scott, and he runs over a defender for the first down across the 50, across the 45, first down, Lynx.
Yeah, that was just a right up the gut. My guys are better than your guys. We're going to get 10 yards. And I think that's just what you're going to see. They don't need to be in a hurry, and they just need to keep the ball moving, positive directions up the field, and we'll see how the game goes.
Absolutely. First down and 10 at about they're going to mark it at about the 44, maybe 43. That's going to be Blomgren along with Scott. He has Timmer also. They're going to go quick, and that's going to be Melcher's first catch in the ball game, and it's going to be a first down as Blomgren was dropped back at about the logo. But it's going to be a completed pass, a actual slant pattern from Melcher, as they could see probably the defensive backs were playing off of him because of the deep ball. that's what happens. Your DBs are going to start sinking back a little bit. Well, your underneath routes, slant pattern is going to be wide open. That's a first down at about the 32. As Blomgren's going to come out of the pistol, Timmer right to his left. He also has Welch tight to the formation. That's Scott right behind him. He has a first down already. I wonder if they're going to call a false start. It looks like the quarterback moved a little bit. They do not call it. And that's going to be a give to Scott.
About a 4-yard gain. Again, they don't do anything fancy. All they're running is pretty much right up the gut between the tackles, and it's excellent technique when you can manipulate big, strong defensive linemen to go where you want to just by half a step. And these running backs are going through there and just picking their spots and going through and taking what the defense is giving them.
Mueller is the new receiver, number 20. He is in the slot along with Melcher. They're going to give it to Scott again. Scott breaks it open across the hash. He's going to go all the way down to about the 19-yard line. We do have a Cobbler player on the ground. That's number 73 for the Cobblers, and that's going to be
Chevy Leslie.
Chevy Leslie is down on the ground at about the 25. Now Scott with a big gain and a first down.
Hey, Ken, speaking of Mr. Leslie, I was talking to the Rapid City coach before the game, and this young gentleman, during the off-season, put on 40 pounds and earned a starting spot on this offensive line for all of his effort and putting on the weight to get him up there where they needed him to be. And he's played a pretty good game tonight, but I see he's running off on his own power, so that's good. Good
for him, and it's all about the off-season, right? Is your commitment to excellence. It starts with the off-season and goes into the season. As it's going to be first down and 10 from the 19, and that's where the Lynx are going to start inside the red zone. Lynx coming out of halftime with a 28-0 lead over the Cobblers. Under 10 minutes to go. Third quarter. Scott right to Blomgren's right. Timmer, the lead block. Blomgren's going to keep it. He's got a host of blockers. He breaks a tackle, and he keeps on going. Touchdown, Lynx, as he is inside the pylon. No, they're going to say he stepped on the bounce at about the third.
The 3 or 2 yard line?
Yeah, it looks like the 3-yard line. So
what a run. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. I didn't want you to go into your full-blown touchdown call and then have to take it back.
Yeah, it was close.
It was very close.
It was close. I didn't see his foot down, and I was looking at his feet.
Yeah,
I didn't have that. Official. I didn't have that great a view, though.
I was just watching the official.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he was waving his arms as he's going down, which tells me he's not going to give him a touchdown.
Most important part, first down. Lynx are in a hurry. That's going to be Blomgren in the pistol. He's going to give it to Scott, and that is a touchdown. As Scott goes over to the goal line, the Lynx go up 34-0 on this Friday evening here in Brandon, South Dakota, with 9:29 to go. And you're going to see on your clock on the bottom of the screen now as the clock is going to run in the state of South Dakota in football. The clock will run now when it's this much of a difference on the scoreboard, 34-0. Hunt on for his 5th extra point, and Stroh's there to hold for him. Hunt is 4 for 4 this evening. It's up, and it is good. He is perfect on the night with his 5th extra point. It is now 35-0 with the clock running, 8:50 to go, third quarter. Lynx drive on their first possession of the second half. Touchdown.
You know, that is just a good series for them to come out of the halftime. It tells you that they made some nice adjustments at halftime for the offense, and they just went right down the field. And Rapid City did not have an answer for anything that they were running.
And one thing you can do, Bob, is when their safeties are back, right? I mean, I understand that the Melcher completion from Blomgren worked on the slant pattern early in the series, right? But that was the only throw of that series, but it was all run game, right? So we're going to give hats off to that offensive line. You are just putting everybody on their heels on the defensive side of the ball and saying, okay, we're going to run the ball and we're going to go right down the field and we're going to score, and that's what happened.
And the only pass on that one was a slant pass, which was the way because as far back as they were in the secondary, that was almost like a glorified run. It was just a short pass at a slant and got enough for a first down on that one as well. So everything was working.
Scott on to kick for his 5th time this evening, actually 6th time. Scott boots it from the 35. And the Cobbler returner is going to bring it all the way up. That's going to be number 11, Hill. He's going to bring it all the way up to the, let's see where the side judge is, the 30-yard line. And that's where the Cobblers are going to start with their first series in the second half.
It'll be interesting to see what the defensive coaches came up with for halftime adjustments against the wing T, if that's what they come out in.
And it looks like the starters are still in the ball game on defense. It looks like they'll probably, I would assume, probably get a series to start off the second half. And we'll see where we go from there. Matthews under center. He's got 2 receivers to his right. He does motion Jackson, but they do give it to Benbow, number 21. He's going to gain 1 yard, maybe a half yard. It's going to bring up a second down. They're going to call it 10, so he did not gain a yard on the 30-yard line under 8 minutes to go.
So it was Coughlin and number 27 on the tackle there. So good defensive stop there. It was basically the line says, all right, we're going to stop you right out there. We're not going any further.
As the Cobblers offense coming out second down and 10, a wing T formation again with a receiver to their left. They motion that wing, and they give it to Benbow again with the lead blocker from the wing. He's going to gain about 5, maybe 6 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 as the Cobblers go over to the 35.
Yeah, Brighton Stroh on the tackle there. They did a good job, but now let's see what they do on 3rd down here. Come on, defense.
3rd down and 4, 7 minutes to go, 3rd quarter on the 36. Your Lynx up, 35-0.
They're certainly not in any hurry at this point in time.
As I think they're just trying to get some consistency at this point on offense, as the Lynx defense has been very good all night. Man-to-man coverage from your corner, number 17, Pudwell. On the far side, there is an attempted run against the Lynx defense, and he's going to be stopped. That's going to be number 24, Jackson, with the carry.
I think we can give 9 Lynx defenders like a half a tackle on that one because they were all there.
Yeah, you see I paused a little bit. He was stopped.
Yeah,
you really can't really give a number. It was at least 9.
At least 9.
Pudwell back deep at about the 32 to the left of your screen. And the Cobblers in punting formation. It is up, and it is a short punt. It goes across the 50 down to about the 48, and that's where the Lynx are going to start on offense with a really good field position offensively for your Lynx. It looks like we may have a new quarterback. No, Blomgren's going to come back out. And we do have some new receivers into the ball game, it looks like. Number 7.
So we'll try to get some of those names and so forth as we get some other players into the game. Make sure we get them recognized because you know what? They go out and they practice just as hard as everybody out here to try to get in for an opportunity to play in these games.
Blomgren, he does have his fullback right to his right in the pistol formation. He's going to give it to his running back. We'll see who it is. I think it's Veskerna.
Yep.
Veskerna with the carry. He had some really good carries in the first half, in the first quarter, I should say, in the second quarter. As the lead blocker was number 20, that was Mueller in the backfield, I believe. He typically is not. He's a wide receiver. I could be calling that wrong, and that he was in the backfield, but we'll check out the numbers here. He's going to go wide.
Just in the backfield.
That's going to be number 2, or number 7 for the Lynx, the fullback now.
Yes, number 7.
And pistol formation, quick pass, Number 2 is going to catch it. That's going to be Wokus for the Lynx with the reception. It's going to be a first down from Blomgren, and that will move the chains. Clock is running, 4:15 to go, third quarter.
Yeah, that was a nice play on a little bit. The pass was a little bit underthrown, but he went back and did a good job of not only catching it, but picking up an extra yard or two for the first down.
And number 7 is Mason Veld in the backfield at fullback in for Timmer. Veskerna, big hole. He's going to gain about, we're going to say, 3 to 4 yards. And
Leland Benbow on the tackle. He's been running tonight. He's been tackling a lot tonight. He's kind of all over the field tonight. He's one of a couple of players that plays both ways for the Cobblers.
So Veld, your new fullback, along with Veskerna in the backfield typically here with Mueller at wide receiver number 20. And you do have your tight end. That's going to be Welch along with Wokus. He has a catch in the game. That's number 2 at the bottom of your screen. Blomgren, Veskerna. Big hole again from that offensive line. It's going to be just short of the first down marker. It's going to bring up a third down and 1 for the Lynx offense.
Yeah, it looks like he was tripped up by number 7, Logan James, on that particular play. I would expect a run play here, Ken.
You think so?
I think so. Might even by the quarterback.
This is kind of where you do, you have a running clock, right?
Yeah, we do. We're not
even on
the score. We're just trying to get
I understand. I completely understand, but it's, yeah. Blomgren, he's got Veskerna with him. Mueller's tight to the formation. They pitch it. He's going to be met in the backfield, and the Cobblers knew it. They knew a run was called. They heard you, Bob. And Bob gave the call away to the Cobblers defense.
It looks like Benbow is hobbling off over the field. That'll be a big loss because that's their running game and one of their better secondary or defensive players, rather.
Fourth down and 2 from the 35. Clock's at 2 minutes ago in the third quarter. This is the second time the Lynx offense have seen a fourth down, and they're going to go for it. As Blomgren, he's got his fullback Veld right to his left. They're going to give it to Veskerna, and he's going to gain everything and more. The first down to the 20, maybe 19-yard line, moving the chains. First down, Lynx.
Yeah, Caleb Crawford probably made a touchdown-saving catch down there on Veskerna, but he did stop him, but not before a Lynx first down.
First down, Lynx, 1:20 to go, third quarter. Lynx up 35-0. Blomgren taking his time. He's got Wokus along with Mueller to his left wide. They give it to Veskerna. Veskerna is running it down all the way down to about the 15, maybe 16-yard line. Dowd, the other tight end, is going to come in, number 8 for the Lynx. As Welch is going to come out, the tight end for the Lynx. You really see a lot of Welch, number 4, and number 8, Dowd, the tight ends for the Lynx, and they play a crucial part in that run game also, as it is a second down in about 6 from about the 16. Blomgren, pistol formation. Veskerna again. He's going to bounce outside. He's loose. Touchdown. Veskerna goes over the white line, and it counts. Touchdown, Lynx.
Did you see that receiver block that secondary guy that gave him the walk into the end zone? What an excellent block by the receiver out there.
41-0. Lynx in the third quarter with 15 seconds to go. Scott on for his 6th extra point of the night.
No, that would be Miles Hunt.
Excuse me. Well, I said Scott because he does kickoffs. That's hey, good correction. It is good. 42-0. 15 seconds to go as the clock will stop. on a kickoff, on change of possessions for a kickoff in the third quarter. 42-0 Lynx over the Cobblers on a Friday evening, and it's a big evening here in Brandon, South Dakota, as it is homecoming night, as we have fireworks just off to your distance on your screen on the right there. And I gave a little, did you hear? I had to say it. I waited for a running back to break open, right? And Veshkarnat did that, right? He cut out and bounced outside to the left and touchdown. And I wanted that big run for a touchdown, right? And hats off to, I think he's probably the best play-by-play guy out there in the United States on the radio on KFan up in the Twin Cities for the Vikings. That's Paul Allen. He used to say this famously for Adrian Peterson back in the day. He's loose. Did you pick that up a little bit when I said he was loose?
Who? What announcer?
Oh, okay. Anyways. All right. Paul Allen, you do a great job. I am not you, but hats off to you, and I gave you a little bit of a shout out on doing that, saying he is loose on the run.
Paul Allen, you're right. He's one of the guys right up there, and does. And every Vikings fan in America knows that voice just by hearing him in a bar ordering a drink. They'll know exactly who that is because he's so famous for that deal. Now, not only do they have one of the best play-by-play guys, but their PA guy that does in-house calls for the Vikings.
Yeah,
does all the Super Bowls.
I know.
That's how good he is.
So a little insight of last weekend. Our family, my wife and myself and my two children had the privilege to be able to go to the Vikings game last week against the Texans, and you're right. The other voice of the Vikings inside the stadium, US Bank Stadium, is tremendous. It was a great experience for my family and a very good football game, as those Vikings now are 3-0 and doing really well. It is Packer week, so all your Packer fans, good luck to you. As the Lynx are going to start the fourth quarter, it's 42-0. 12 minutes to go in this ball game. We do still have a running clock in the state of South Dakota when we're at this point. It will be a running clock. Lynx are pitching the shutout right now, which they've done twice so far this year. And they're looking for their third one defensively. That's going to be Matthews in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his right. He's going to go deep. And it is intercepted by number 12 for your Lynx. And that is it number 12?
Well, if it's number 12, it's Gage Mandry.
Let me see. It is. Great interception. Ball a little overthrown, but he had to high point that and go find the ball, right? Interception. Lynx defense comes up big again. Lynx ball.
And not cause pass interference.
Right. Absolutely. That's a great point.
He had to go up over the top of him without doing anything with his arms to block that. What a great interception.
As the Lynx offense coming out to the field, I believe we have another new running back. We'll get that number here in a moment.
34 is back there. That's who's got the ball.
Blomgren at quarterback.
And that is going to be Camden Christian on the run. Looks like it's a gain of 1 on the play.
He's a sophomore, number 34, Camden Christian with the carry. It's going to be a 1-yard carry for him.
And we'll apologize if we kind of pause or I step on Ken, but we want to get some of these names in to make sure they get recognized for getting into the game, participating, and doing a good play, that type of thing. So
no apology needed, Bob. You do a great job with those binoculars because sometimes these numbers are hard to see. As Blomgren, along with Christian with him, he's got Veld in front of him. They're going to give it to Christian again. He's going to gain about 6, maybe 7 yards. It's going to bring up a third and 2 at the 40-yard line. And that's where the Lynx will continue their drive.
Jonah Blake on the tackle for the Cobblers. First time I've heard his name into the game tonight.
Just under 10 minutes to go, 42 to 0. Your Lynx over the Cobblers in this game as the Lynx are trying to move to 5-0 on the season. Blomgren, he's got his up back. That's going to be Veld along with Christian right behind him in the pistol formation. They give it to Christian. He cuts back. He goes over the 45-yard line. First down, Lynx. That will stop the clock as the chains move, and then they'll wind the clock back up. And they do. 29:20 to go. In the fourth quarter, I should say, in the ball game, 42 to nothing. As the Lynx will try to really, the play clock, they're going to try to drive this down. You don't want injuries to happen to anybody out here. As Mueller is the receiver at the bottom of your screen, that's number 20. Blomgren, Veld, and Christian in the backfield. They give it to Christian for the fourth time in this drive. He's going to gain about 3 yards, maybe 4 yards. He pushes the pile almost to the 50. He is down at the 49-yard line. It's going to be second down for the Lynx. Second down and 6, a 4-yard carry. We are at about 8:30 to go in this ball game, running clock.
Blake was on the tackle again. He's making a lot of plays, but unfortunately, he's one of the deep linebackers, and when they're getting that deep, I'm very impressed with this Christian and how he runs. He kind of takes and steps, and all of a sudden he drives to the hole. Good
Cutback that he had just now, as his vision looks really good. Christian finds the opening again, pushes the pile. He's going to have the first down. Are they going to call the first down? They are. That's going to move the chains.
Yep, they're moving them.
First down, Lynx. Lynx go over the 50-yard line.
And, I have to point out here something. There's some schools that'll intentionally try to run up the score.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can say that the Lynx are trying to run up the score, but guess what? They're running the ball right between the guard and the center with straight run plays. If they get 7 or 8 or 9 yards on a straight run play, stop them.
Absolutely.
We're not like taking bombs to get touchdowns to run up a score.
Right. Christian, 7th carry of this series from Blomgren, and it's going to bring up a second down and 6 as he gains 4 yards. He's looking to the sideline, and he's probably a little tired. What do you think?
I think he is. Number 12, Trayson Carr on the tackle. That's the first time we've called his number tonight, but he made a nice tackle because that Christian is just running effort and making just great reads on where the holes are at.
Blomgren. Christian right behind him. He has 7 carries, and he's been the whole offense along with his offensive line and his fullback, and he gets the carry again. Does he grab the first down? He does not. He's going to be 1 yard short, and it's going to bring up a third down and 1.
Yep, Carr is on the tackle again, so they're definitely getting into the behind the initial line of scrimmage and making the linebackers and the defensive backs make tackles on him. I don't think they're all that excited about jumping in front of that freight train coming through there.
Yeah, he's doing really well, and hats off to his fullback also in that offensive line. They are opening up lanes real quick for Christian, but his vision is very good. As third down and 1, Christian again. And he is loose. He's going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Lynx, as number 34, Christian, I think probably finds the end zone for the first time in his high school career. We really don't know. We're assuming so. But great run.
At the varsity level anyway.
Yes, great run as that vision. We talked about it on this whole series, folks. That cutback lane, all that was is putting your left foot into the turf and cutting it back to the right. Touchdown, Lynx. It is now 48-0. And Hunt is on for the extra point. Kick is up and good. 49-0. Lynx, just under 6 minutes to go in this ball game. They are in full control. 5:54 to go.
So, I've got an observation. Did anybody run that ball other than Christian on that entire drive?
They did not.
So he got all of the yards.
All the carries.
So it is only fitting that he gets the touchdown.
Absolutely. And that wasn't like a 3-yard run. That was almost a 25-yard run, right?
And he was going up the gut, and all of a sudden he saw something, and he says, I got a lane to the outside, and he just outran those guys back there.
Yeah, he's a very, very good young running back. I was very, very impressed, but hats off. He did have a big lane, right? I mean, there was nobody in sight after he got to that second level, and it was to the house.
Off to the races.
49-0. Lynx looking to go 5-0. I think we can start talking about next week, Bob, as Scott's on to kick for, that's Gus Scott, the senior, for the Lynx. And there's the kick. It is a reverse for the Cobblers. And the returns all the way up to about the 35, and that's where the Cobblers are going to start on offense. I think we need to maybe start talking about next week and how big that game is. Depends on what Lincoln does. They played this evening, right?
They did.
Okay, they won?
That I do not know.
Okay.
I had something else on my phone here, Ken, but why don't I look?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for the heads up on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to make sure you were paying attention.
Because typically I don't look up to see who we play next week until we're done. And
Right.
we can decide that. But I'm looking here. So,
Matthew under center. And
so Lincoln actually does not. Well, they play tonight. They play the 7:30 game, and they play Washington.
okay.
And Washington's 1-3, and Lincoln's coming in at 4-0.
You don't have a score, though.
They're not. They haven't started yet.
Oh, well, that late. Is it a doubleheader?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. At Howard Wood, I assume?
It is.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna set the tone. Okay. Lincoln's number 2 in the state so far. Okay. Going into this evening, Lynx are number 3 going into this evening. Lynx are well on their way to going to 5-0 with 4:30 to go. With the scoreboard showing 49-0 over the Cobblers. So we'll put the Lynx at 5-0 here. And setting up that matchup next Friday night, am I correct? Oh, no.
October the 4th.
October the 4th, that is a Friday. Friday evening at Howard Wood Field.
It's homecoming.
We do not have the privilege to call the game. I wish I was able to call the game. I'm going to try to be there in person. But that is a big matchup. 2-3, maybe 1-2. Who knows? Well, tonight shakes out. We know that Brandon, your Lynx are they're more than likely going to win this ball game.
They got a whole slew of just about all new defensive players in this game.
As Matthews is going to roll right, he puts on the brakes. It is completed to number 13 for the Cobblers. That's going to be White Jr. with the reception.
And Aiden Sturgeon on the tackle, number 40.
And so setting up that matchup, it's going to be a big matchup. Let's just put it that way. I don't really need to talk about it anymore. It's a big matchup. If you can go, be there. I know it'll be on.
Support.
It'll be online somewhere.
Yes.
But if you can be there, support these athletes, as it's going to be a top 3 matchup, I assume, in 11 AAA next Friday evening. And there's a carry by the Cobblers. Caden Gibbons.
And number 35 on the tackle. And unfortunately, we do not have a 35 on the roster for the
Warnoff, I think, or
Marshall Marnock.
Marnock. I was close.
Yes.
Not really.
You were listening to Bob.
Yeah, I did listen to Bob.
And not this Bob.
Yeah. Yeah. 2nd and 5. Matthews. He gives it to number 23 on the sweep out of the wing T formation.
Landon Brubaker,
Brubaker with the carry.
a 5'11", 175-pound junior from the Cobblers. Cobblers are moving the ball down the field. I think the defense that's on the first team is kind of trying to root on and get the second team guys pumped up to try to maintain this the shutout here.
See, you can do the play-by-play. You just did it.
No, that's okay.
You sure?
Yes,
You don't want to try it?
I do not.
Okay. Matthews to his fullback. Bob has his binoculars out to see who's on the carry and who's on the tackle.
Number 32 on the tackle. And again, another item that they... Let me look at my other sheet here. Julius Davenport.
All right, Cobblers, second down and 2 at about 1:05 to go. The clock's about at 1 minute to go in this ball game. 49-0. Lynx on top of the Cobblers. Intercepted. No, it is broken up though by the corner as the pass was intended for White Jr. from Matthews. It is broken up by
Davenport again.
Davenport. It's going to bring up a third down and 1-ish.
With about 35 seconds to go.
35 seconds to go in the ball game as the clock is running.
Timeout on the play.
And there is a timeout by the Cobblers.
I didn't see who called it, but I'll take your word for it.
Rapid City Central.
There we go.
Yeah. Lynx TV sponsors, Bob. What do you think for the final time this evening?
All right, we've got the All-American sponsors. Our Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling, Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Our MVP sponsors are First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health in Brandon, and Sanford Health and Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And the champion sponsors are Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quickstar, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospitals, Sunshine Food Stores, and today's Family Dentistry. Thank you for all of our sponsors for supporting the Lynx for tonight's broadcast. Go out and support them.
Thank you, sponsors. 30 seconds to go, coming off the timeout by the Cobblers as Lynx defense trying to hold and pitch this shutout. White Jr. again. It is almost intercepted as they're going to go to White Jr.
Number 39 for the Lynx, and that is Jaden Martin Jr. Went right through his hands, but he was in the right position.
10 seconds to go. We'll see if the Cobblers get off a play. 4th down and 1, maybe 2.
They're not going to get it off.
Timeout. They are going to get it off. 1 second to go. They do want to find the end zone, right? And, hey, I'd want to too.
Well, I think they brought in some other players, and they wanted to make sure that they give them at least a play in this game.
Okay. All right.
That's my take on the
That's
whole thing.
That's positive thinking.
It is.
You're trying to find a solution to what's happening. I really don't I don't know what's happening. There is a timeout, but that's a good solution that you just came up with.
But they were running out of time, and they weren't going to get the play off if they didn't call a timeout.
So they are bringing the field goal unit on. They do not want the scoreboard to say 0.
Ooh, I want you to say the name here for the kicker.
Tristan Duchanel. Duchanel is up. Is it good? It is not.
Yes.
Lynx hold and have the shutout. That will do it as the field goal is no good. 49-0. Your Lynx moved to 5-0 on the season as we go right over the halfway mark in the regular season. 49-0 on homecoming night this Friday evening, 2024 in Brandon, South Dakota. Lynx offense and defense and special teams played big tonight, so hats off to them. Coaching staff did a great job. Next week, Bob, big matchup.
Very, very big matchup. Two very, very solid teams that both play good offense and defense. I like how the Lynx's defense is playing. Coming into the game, they're only allowing 37 yards a game rushing. Tonight, because of the wing tee, I believe that they probably got more than that, but that was the emphasis, pretty much the whole emphasis on their game. But they're only giving up less than 100 yards passing through the first 4 weeks. Certainly, that improved tonight, and there is going to be on the field, and Ken does not know about this, but I do.
Okay.
On the field, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's win marks the 500th win in Brandon Valley football in the history of Brandon Valley and the Brandon Valley programs. The Booster Club president, Corey Knutson, would like to present head coach Matt Christensen with the commemorative game ball to remember this occasion and to represent all of the players and coaches that have built this program into the premier program in the state. Congratulations, Coach Christensen, coach, players, and everyone who has been a part of the Brandon Valley football program. 500 wins, Ken.
500.
That's 500.
Stay tuned. Coach Christensen and his staff have done a great job. The coaching staffs throughout the history of Brandon have done a tremendous job, too, with a lot of titles. It'd be interesting to know how many titles there are. I'm sure we could try to find that out. But the most important thing is the student athletes, right? And the success that the school system and everything about Brandon breeds champions, right? And 500 wins is a huge, huge accomplishment. And hats off to all the former coaches, players. This is the hats off to all of you and the current players and coaches.
And Coach Christensen happens to be the person who was on number 500. But there was a lot of, just remember, the thousands and thousands and thousands of players that went into that 500 wins in football game.
Absolutely, and that game ball, as you can see, the captains are out there taking pictures. And congratulations to the Lynx, Coach Christensen, and all the former alumni and coaches and players, staff, cheerleaders, everybody that's taken a part in it, former ADs, everything. That's a big accomplishment, 500 wins. So hats off. I had no idea about it. Bob kind of hid it from me. He showed me on his phone. He showed me this huge 2 paragraphs, and
okay.
I
was about ready to read it.
I was going to read it, and I was like,
and I didn't want to get ahead of the.
And you're like, no. You're not doing this, right?
You got to win first before you can read stuff like that. It's just not good juju, as they say. Right.
Well, the most important part to this evening, Lynx go to 5-0 with a 49-0 victory over the Rapid City Cobblers. And next week's game, Howard Wood Field. The matchup is set for one of the two of the top 3 teams in 11 AAA. Lynx have a ton of momentum walking into that ball game next week. It's all about preparation now. As you celebrate this win this evening, you go back to work tomorrow on preparation for a big game.
So Ken,
go ahead.
Do you know when we get to call another game?
I don't.
It is on October the 18th.
The 18th.
Do you know who that game is against?
No.
It is against the number 1 team in the state, Harrisburg. So we get to get a chance to call a very high-level game against, regardless of what the records are, 2 very good programs. Probably the top 2 or 3 programs in the entire state. We get another opportunity to call that game. What an honor. What an honor.
We'll see what the next 2 weeks shake out. That number 1 team could be number 2, could be number 3. Lynx could be 1, could be 2, could be 3. We'll see what happens. That's why they play the games, right? And the Lynx are off to a hot start, a great start this season. And hats off to everybody that's enjoying watching them. Thank you for tuning in on Alliance Channel 226 on your cable television and on YouTube, Lynx TV YouTube around the world. For Bob Arnold, I'm Ken McEwen. Have a great evening and weekend.
Good night, everyone.